right, guys, a little update on the gold position here. It is start to a new week. It is Monday morning, 8:06. Market opened, see, about a little more than half an hour ago. And so we've moved pretty nicely on our gold position here from where we got in. We pulled back pretty harshly here at the start of a new weekly candle. So you can see we gapped here on Oanda. But overall, this level that we had marked here, I think I had it marked before. Um, we have more or less held it as support very nicely, which I like. And so, yeah, this is a really nice close here that we got on this previous candle, right at around, uh, right after the market open, which is awesome. And so, um, I think going forward, we have a pretty good case for, this position working out pretty well, right? Um, we have come down twice to into this level, and yeah, we went down a little bit below, but of course, nothing will ever be perfect. First time we came back up, pulled back again, and have since come back up, and we're looking pretty strong, right? This candle is closed above these two, this close and this open right here, and so I think we don't have any reason to be worried about this. This could be a place where we could move stop to break even actually, because they'd be right under here, right at this level, but I'm fine just keeping it the way that it is, because the price action isn't really showing any signs of us, of weakness, right? I think we're still going to be moving pretty strong here. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at right now on gold. Everything else, every other pair, really not too much going on right now. Focusing on euro pound, maybe we'll get a position on there here in the future, maybe not. But anyway, just a little update on gold. All right, guys, so here we are on gold. So you can see we've reached our target, which is nice. Our target was this high up here, so we're now pushing all-time highs here on gold. So at this point, obviously, we reached our target, but I'm keeping a small bit of the position open with stops underneath this low down here, just to see if we go a little bit higher, right? Obviously, there's no more risk, whatsoever, right? Even if we didn't have our stops in profit, there still wouldn't be risk because of the profit we've taken. But this is really what my focus has sort of been recently, is trying to, when I'm in a trending market like gold, right? And we know why gold is trending fundamentally, right? When we're in trending markets like this, and I am taking profit, my targets are reached, I'm trying to, hold a bit of the position longer in case we get some nice swings. To sort of have, in intraday positions have the potential to turn into swing positions. That's really my focus right now. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I hope the entry made sense. It's really just simple price action is all I'm really looking at. Right. The more you look at the same pair day after day, right, the more accustomed you are to how it moves, right? I like this 2 hour chart here, really shows us a lot. So obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of, trend lines to trade them exclusively. I sort of incorporate them occasionally as a tool, but it's not my only tool, right? If that makes sense. It's just something that you could use, in correlation with other things, right? I still believe that, supply and demand are essentially the two strongest drivers of the market. It's just, logically, it's how it makes sense, right? So I love looking at, these support and resistance levels, which essentially, supply and demand. Um, but I will sometimes incorporate trend lines, right? So here, that's essentially what we got. We had a minor level down here, and it's really, I said this on an earlier video, it's really a minor level until it becomes a major level, right? If we go back to, where was that trade we took? Yeah, back here, right? We had a long position back here that hopefully you saw that video of. And this level was a minor level, right? We can see it here, very minor level, not very important until it became a strong level, right? And so, once we see this, we take note of that, right? That, oh, this is a little support here, but we're respecting it. Come down, respect it again. We had news here on this Thursday, very volatile. And even with the volatility, we still respect this level as support. And then here on the pullback, we get in long and catch this entire move, right? So that's essentially what was happening here. Now, like I say all the time, the zones will never be perfect, right? But this was a minor level until we, over time, we right here, right, we continue to respect this level of support. Very bullish activity here, right around the market open. And we have a nice pullback, and then we just take off. And yeah, this was Friday, so the market closed, and then we had a gap here. We're looking at Owanda, had a gap here on Sunday afternoon to open, but then uh, we held this level as support, which is awesome, and then we just worked our way up. So overall, I think you know trading is what you make it, and so I think that the simplicity aspect of price action is very essentially relaxing. Trading can be stressful, and so I like to try to make it as simple as possible. And go with what just you know emotions aside, what makes the most sense. And so that's kind of what we did here. But anyway, and obviously, it's easier to get long positions like this on gold because we're not really expecting this to sell off at all, right? Once we reach this level as resistance, um, our bias isn't gonna lead us to want to go short here because of gold being in such a strong uptrend, right? We had the Fed, cut rates 50 basis points, and so in that we haven't even completely tackled inflation here in the U.S., and so this is a very very bullish thing for gold and silver and other commodities, and so fundamentally, we have every reason to be bullish, right? In terms of news, right? That's what we refer to as fundamentals. And then technically, we're just looking for, pullbacks in areas where it makes sense logically to look for a long position. And so that's really all it is here. It's very simple, right? If we were fundamentally in a very deflationary state, politically, geopolitically, right, all of that kind of stuff, then we could be looking to go short, but it's the opposite. And so all we're looking for is price action that goes in line with our fundamental bias, and that's what we were doing here. That's what we did on our last trade down here, and all these other trades that we've been in, right? We've had a number of good trades here um, on gold recently, and it's been pretty easy, right? It's actually been pretty easy to trade gold recently, and so um, you know it's good to capitalize on this, right? So anyway, moving forward, we're just going to leave a little bit open with stops in profit underneath the structure and just see where we go. But I do obviously, we need to make sure we are taking profit, which we have. So anyway, hope this video is helpful for you.